Today we are looking at Mission 8 of the chapter approved 2022 book. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another video about the new missions in the chapter approved 2022 book, and this one is
Death and Zeal.
Death and Zeal, which Richard loves the name of this one. So it's another interesting one.
Yeah.
As always, so let's go table down and have a look. Okay, Death and Zeal, we've got 5 objective markers. It's basically table quarters for deployment, and some interesting secondary, progressive secondary, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The primary, secondary.
GW just needs to decide on the name for it.
Yeah. So with this one, effectively you score points. You can score 2 points if you take an objective that you weren't scoring at the beginning of the term, and you get 2 points for killing a unit that was on objective.
Yeah.
And if you do both, you get 3 points. And then the primary is 4 for 1, 8 for 2, and
hold more.
So an interesting one. So I think quite similar to the other quarter map that we had. We're going to be looking for taking our objective and then spreading out to almost a hammer and anvil deployment.
I think hammer and anvil is better. The width of the table isn't that great, so for a small elite army, it suits.
It suits us, and we can sort of go forward and just stop people getting in behind you, which is obviously a bit of a pain, especially if you're playing against orcs.
Yeah, I mean, orcs don't care what one you're playing. I mean, Eldari again, really fast. They actually want to go and play Dawn and War because it means you've got to spread out and you're easier to pick off.
Yeah.
So your first thing is actually no. I'm only going to play condensed table, and whatever you're doing, you're going to have to tailor to what I want.
Yeah. No, exactly. And obviously, once again, it's going to be all about this middle objective.
Yeah, I think this is the one where you're just going to you lose it, take again. So you first turn you might score 2. If you're going first, you're scoring 2 points. If you're going second, you're scoring 3 points, and then you're sort of matching. You're just trading. And again, it's making sure you're trading effectively. Yeah. That you're actually not losing in that trade-off.
Yeah. And obviously, you don't want to trade the Silent King if you can help it.
Well, Silent King's there to get your code of combat. So you're chucking everything to weaken it, and then the Silent King's just going and boom. Silent King's the last thing in or the thing in if he's got something that's a little bit more tough to remove.
Yeah, when I play the Silent King, I'm 100% focusing on that code of combat actually. So I'm in my list that I've had before, I've had stuff that can reduce things down enough so the Silent King can finish them off to get those points. It's no good going straight in with the Silent King trying to use the 2 menhirs to kill something to get a point.
No.
You want to weaken something down so it's a guaranteed kill with the King. And
the other thing with the Silent King is you've got to remember in combat, he's in engagement range. He gives units to fight last. So what you want to make sure is that your menhirs are behind him and that they can't charge the menhirs and stop in engagement range because it's only him. That isn't the menhirs. So if they charge the menhirs and aren't in engagement range of him, they still get to fight first and do damage. Yeah. So you're trying to put yourself where you've got 2 bits of terrain. He's the one in front, the menhirs are here. They can't get to the menhirs, and so therefore they're fighting last. You're almost guaranteed to kill him, and then you're just doing that, just trying to make sure. But I would normally leave a Silent King only as a backup. You've gone in, say it's Blood Angels, Death Company or something. You've gone in with your race, you haven't quite managed to kill them, and you know that they're going to kill that. Next turn, you're just going to send in.
The King would be better off behind obscuring terrain and just buffing the units around them as you send them in.
Yeah, it's sort of, you're probably moving them forward so that you can do that. You probably want to move a bit to there so he can go that way. He can go that way. or even here if you want to go that way. But as we've said, hammer and anvil, I'd probably want him roughly about here, behind obscured. He can go that way, he can come this way, and he can help deal with what.
Assuming you're playing the king, of course, because he's not the only way to play
but it. If you've got the king in your list, that's how I'm playing him. I'm putting him in a position where, because he's got a decent movement on him, hasn't he? He's got 8-inch move or something.
Yes, yeah.
So he's got that manoeuvrability that he can get between 3 objectives quite easily if he needs to, and that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't got the Silent King, you're still playing similar, except you haven't got the code of combat, but you're looking at your characters being able to buff, still buff those units and still provide that offensive.
Yep. And obviously, if you're not using Code of Combat, you've got the Purge the Vermin and another great.
Again, this is ideal for Purge the Vermin. I think minimum of 8 points you're scoring, and realistically, you're probably near 12 points. Yeah. 12 points, and as I've stated in the other videos, that one is your third secondary. So if you're scoring 8 to 15 points for your third primary, that's not a bad return.
No, exactly. Okay, so that's mission done. Now, of course, we're covering all of the missions in the book. There's a playlist in the description below for you to check out, so you can see all of the other videos. And at the end of this series, we're going to talk more about secondary objectives and look at a potential list that we've made for these missions. So stay tuned.